So you're buying a property and you've been asked to take a view on something. What are you being asked to do? And is it a good idea? I'll explain it after this short intro. I'm Tim Hill, internet entrepreneur, property investor, and author of How to Really Buy a Property. No, it's not one of those books that goes on and on about how you can make millions investing in property, and all you have to do is go on my course to learn the secrets, and then you go on my course and you find out that you have to go on my master course to learn the real secrets. None of that. If you have decided to buy a property, no matter what your motivation, then How to Really Buy a Property is the smart way to do it. And it will save you time, money, and stress. Okay, to take a view really just means to risk it. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. It's a real example of a transaction I was involved in to show where there was an option to take a view or to do something different. So this was a house, and on the lower ground floor, street facing, the current owner had changed the window. So it wasn't really in view of the street. It was very low down. You couldn't really see it from the street. But he changed the window and put in a larger window to get more light in without planning permission. So he needed planning permission for this particular change, but he hadn't got it. Bad boy. So you've got a question about what to do here if you want to buy that house. Because if you go to the council, the local authority now, and say, I want to buy that house, but it doesn't have planning permission for that window, please give me planning permission, they might say no. They might say, that's bad. Change that to something that does have planning permission, and by the way, here's a fine. So you don't want, you can't go down that road. And also the vendor, he might not be wanting to go down that road either. So I'm not going to go to the council and now tell them that I've done something which I shouldn't have done, apply, then maybe get rejected. And if I get rejected, then they're going to make me make all these building changes. No thanks. I'll find a buyer who will take a view. In other words, who will risk it. Because when you're looking at something that's fairly low risk, that's a good time to take a view, to risk it. In this particular case, the buyer had two options. Yes, they could take a view, but there was still a bit of a risk that at some point the local authority could come round. Or they could get something called indemnity insurance. Now, with indemnity insurance, what you can do is you're going to a third-party company, an insurance company, and you're saying, how much will you charge me to insure me? So if the local authority come round and there's all sorts of hassle and I need to make lots of changes and it costs lots of money, you'll pay all that money. And the insurance company goes, a bit of a gamble, but quite a low risk. Let's call it £100 or something like that. It's usually a very small amount because they know the risk is quite small and because they have lots of these things going on all the time. So in a lot of cases, people will pay that £100 and the insurance company just gets to keep it. Like with health insurance, not everybody will ever use it. Now, if there isn't that kind of escape clause going out of it, or there isn't time for something to happen, that's when the vendor might say, take a view. So, in other words, you kind of take it or you don't. So, for example, there might be some damp on the lower ground floor or the ground floor of the property that's come up during the survey. And you've got a damp proof company that's gone around and said, yeah, we could do some work here to reduce the damp. But the owner, the current owner of the property, they had that issue come up when they bought the property. They took a view on it. It didn't have the work done. And now they're selling the property on and they're saying to you, take a view on it. The damp was never so much that it caused them a problem. They're certainly not going to renegotiate the price to you because you've got a problem. They're saying, we took a view and it was the right view because we've been living here happily ever since. Now you take a view or we find another buyer. So that's the general principle around the term take a view. It's like accept it, find an alternative, or walk away. And that's it. That's all for this short video. There's much more information in the book, How to Really Buy a Property. As always, if you found this information useful, please remember to subscribe, to share, to like, to do all those social media things. It all helps other people who need this information find it more easily. If you've got some specific questions which you'd like me to have a go at answering, please put them in the comments below and I'll try and get to them. And in the meantime, good luck with your property purchase.